Have you ever heard of a cricket player who was only 5 feet 4 inches tall but played like a giant? Let me tell you about Alvin Kallicharran. He was a small man who did big things in cricket. While many people talk about famous players like Viv Richards and Clive Lloyd, they often forget about Kallicharran. This is a mistake. This brave man faced the world's fastest bowlers without wearing a helmet. People called his batting poetry in motion. Today I'm going to tell you his amazing story, from a poor village in Guyana to becoming one of cricket's most skilled players. It's a tale of beating the odds when everyone said he was too small to succeed. It's about a man who didn't just play cricket, he changed it with grace and skill that amazed the sporting world. Alvin Isaac Kallicharran was born on April 21, 1951, in a small village called Port Mourant in Berbice, Guyana. Back then, Guyana was still known as British Guyana and was under British rule. Alvin was the youngest child in his family. They didn't have much money. His father worked hard as a laborer in the sugarcane fields and loved cricket, but couldn't have known his son would one day play at the world's best cricket grounds. Life was simple but challenging in Port Mourant. The village was small with dirt roads and modest homes. Even basic things like clean water and electricity were not always available, but what the village lacked in wealth, it made up for with a rich community spirit and a deep love for cricket. Port Mourant may have been small, but people there loved cricket more than anything. Young Alvin grew to love the game too. He was often seen with a bat in his hand, trying to copy the moves of players he looked up to. He would watch older boys and men play, studying their techniques and waiting for his chance to join in. He went to Port Mourant Primary School, but he learned most about cricket by playing games in the dusty village fields with other boys. These informal games, played with makeshift equipment like wooden crates for wickets and homemade bats, taught him how to be creative and adaptive, modern skills that would serve him well later in his career. Most cricket stars start by playing in organized clubs with proper coaching, but Kallicharran's path was different. He caught people's eye by playing well in local games where he showed natural talent that couldn't be taught. This led to him being picked for the Port Mourant club, which was a big deal for a young boy from a poor family. Even though he was young and small, people noticed how smoothly he batted and how he could place the ball exactly where he wanted. He didn't hit it hard. He hit it smart. Instead of trying to overpower bowlers like bigger players did, he used timing and placement. He would gently guide the ball into gaps where fielders couldn't reach it, showing a cricket intelligence beyond his years. Being only 5 feet 4 inches tall, many people doubted if Kallicharran could handle tough professional cricket. Critics and even some coaches said he was too small to face fast bowling at the highest level, but what he lacked in height he made up for with great skill and mental strength. He turned his small size into an advantage. His low center of gravity helped him stay balanced, and his quick feet let him move into position faster than taller players. When he was chosen for the Berbice team to play in regional competitions, it was a big step forward. It showed he had the talent to rise in Guyanese and West Indian cricket. During these early years, his family always supported him, despite not having much money. Their support and belief in him helped him as he chased his cricket dreams. Kallicharran's career grew when he was picked to play for Guyana in regional matches. The West Indies had very competitive local tournaments, and playing well there was the way to get noticed for the national team. In 1969, when he was just 18 years old, he played his first major match for Guyana in the important Shell Shield tournament, the biggest cricket competition in the Caribbean. This was his chance to show what he could do against the best players from other Caribbean islands. In his early days playing for Guyana, Kallicharran showed he could bat consistently well despite being so young. He was especially good at facing fast bowlers calmly, a skill that would become what he was known for in international cricket. While other batsmen would duck or sway nervously against fast bowling, Kallicharran stood his ground, watching the ball carefully and playing each delivery on its merits. As the early 1970s went on, his performances in regional tournaments made it clear he was ready for international cricket. He scored consistently against strong bowling attacks from Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica and Barbados. Cricket experts began to take notice of this small but technically perfect left-handed batsman who seemed to have all the time in the world to play his shots. They were impressed by how he could handle all types of bowling, fast, spin, swing with equal skill. His technique was classical and pure, and he had a special gift for timing that made batting look easy. The big moment came in 1973 when at 22 years old, Kallicharran was picked for the West Indies team touring England. This was the dream of every young cricketer in the Caribbean, to wear the maroon cap and represent the West Indies. Soon after, he played his first international test match against India at Queen's Park Oval in Trinidad. Many young players are nervous in their first international match, but Kallicharran wasn't. He scored an impressive 79 runs, immediately showing everyone he belonged at the international level. The confidence he showed against experienced international bowlers made people realize that this was no ordinary talent. Here was a player who, despite his size, had the skill and temperament to succeed against the world's best. What made Kallicharran special wasn't just how many runs he scored, but how he scored them. Cricket commentators often said his batting was like poetry in motion. He wasn't a power hitter like many other players of his time. Instead, he relied on perfect timing, precision, and an amazing ability to find gaps between fielders. His left-handed batting style was elegant and smooth, making even defensive shots look beautiful. When he drove the ball through the covers or flicked it off his pads, it was done with such grace that spectators would applaud even if the shot only scored a single run. In a team becoming known for its aggressive, powerful cricket, Kallicharran provided artistry and finesse. In 1974, Kallicharran's reputation grew even more during the West Indies tour of England. Against some of the world's best bowlers on difficult English pitches, he showed he could adapt well, handling both fast and spin bowling equally well. English conditions are notoriously challenging for batsmen from the Caribbean, with the ball swinging and seaming more than on the flatter pitches back home. But Kallicharran adjusted his technique perfectly, showing patience when needed and attacking when possible. These performances secured his place in the West Indies middle order and marked him as a world-class batsman. Cricket experts were particularly impressed by his ability to play late and use the pace of the ball, but skills that were perfect for English conditions. The West Indies teams of the 1970s were becoming famous for their fearsome fast bowlers and aggressive batsmen like Clive, Lloyd and Viv Richards. This era would later be known as the Golden Age of West Indies cricket, when they dominated the world game. Within this team of stars, Kallicharran provided important balance. His steady, reliable presence in the middle order created stability that allowed the more aggressive players to take risks. While others might have gotten more attention and headlines, insiders knew that Kallicharran's contributions were often what made the difference between winning and losing. Many times when the team was in trouble, it was Kallicharran who would rescue the innings with calm, measured batting. His technique against fast bowling deserves special mention. In a time before helmets were common, facing very fast bowling required great courage and skill. Some of the fastest bowlers in cricket history were playing during this time. Men like Dennis Lely, Jeff Thomson, and Imran Khan, who could bowl at speeds over 90 miles per hour. Kallicharran never showed fear, using his quick footwork and sharp eye to handle even the most aggressive bowling. He had a special ability to pick up the length of the ball early, giving him more time to get into position. This courage earned him great respect from teammates and opponents alike. Even the fastest bowlers knew that intimidation wouldn't work against Kallicharran. By 1976, People had noticed Kallicharran's cricket intelligence and leadership qualities. He was always thinking about the game, analyzing situations, and offering advice to younger players. The West Indies selectors saw these skills and made him captain for the series against India. He led the team during an important time in West Indies cricket, as a new generation of amazing players like Richards, Michael Holding and Andy Roberts were reaching their best. Being captain of the West Indies was one of cricket's most prestigious jobs, and Kallicharran took on the responsibility with characteristic humility and dedication. Kallicharran's style as captain was like his batting: calm, composed and thoughtful. He wasn't a shouter or a dramatic leader. Instead, he led by example and made smart decisions based on his deep understanding of the game. While his team had mixed results, struggling somewhat against strong teams like Australia and England, no one questioned his tactical knowledge or commitment. He was respected by his players and opponents alike for his fair play and sportsmanship. However, the pressures of being captain seemed to affect his batting, as often happens with cricket captains who have to worry about team strategy as well as their own performance. By 1977, he had gone back to focusing mainly on batting rather than leading the team. By the late 1970s, Alvin Kallicharran had established himself as one of cricket's best batsmen. He contributed greatly to West Indies' victories in Test matches and one-day internationals, which were becoming more popular during this time. Whether he was setting up the innings with careful batting at the start, rebuilding after early wickets with determined defense, or finishing games with calculated aggression, Kallicharran proved he was the perfect team player. He could adapt his game to whatever the situation required, which is the mark of a truly great batsman. His partnerships with other great West Indies batsmen like Richards, Lloyd, and Gordon Greenidge produced some of the most memorable cricket of the era. What made Kallicharran special wasn't just his technical skill, but his ability to perform best when his team needed him most. Cricket is very much a mental game, and Kallicharran's cricket intelligence let him adapt his game plan according to different situations, conditions and opponents. He seemed to have a sixth sense for knowing when to attack and when to defend, when to take risks and when to play safe. This cricket intelligence, combined with his technical perfection, made him one of the most complete batsmen of his generation, even if he didn't always get the recognition he deserved from the wider public. Even though he played alongside some of cricket's biggest stars, Kallicharran's impact on West Indies cricket is unforgettable. If players like Richards and Lloyd were the thunder, Kallicharran was the lightning, perhaps less obviously destructive, but equally brilliant and often more precise. His contributions went beyond just scoring runs. He helped shape the cricket culture of the West Indies during this important period, showing that Caribbean cricket could be about skill and artistry as well as power and aggression. The balance he brought to the team was a key part of their success, and helped establish the West Indies as cricket's dominant force. After his professional cricket career ended, Kallicharran stayed connected to the sport he loved. He settled with his wife Patsy and focused on teaching the next generation of cricket players. Unlike some retired players who move away from the game, Kallicharran was passionate about giving back. He worked with the Triangle Cricket League in Morrisville, North Carolina, showing his commitment to growing cricket beyond traditional cricket countries. In the United States, where cricket is not a major sport, he worked tirelessly to promote the game and develop young talent. His coaching style emphasized the fundamentals of technique and mental strength, the same qualities that had defined his own career. His dedication to developing cricket went beyond North America. In 2019, when he was already in his late 60s, he helped coach both men's and women's cricket teams in Pondicherry, India, sharing his decades of knowledge with young players. He would spend hours in the hot sun, watching young cricketers practice and offering gentle advice to improve their technique. This commitment to giving back shows Kallicharran's understanding that cricket is more than just a game, it's a way to grow personally and build communities. For him, cricket had been a path from poverty to international recognition, and he wanted to create similar opportunities for others. In recognition of his contributions, Kallicharran received the prestigious British Empire Medal in the 2019 New Year's Honours List. This award acknowledged not just his cricket achievements, but also his extensive charity work and efforts to develop the sport globally. This formal recognition highlighted what many in cricket circles had long known that Kallicharran's impact went far beyond the cricket field. It was a fitting tribute to a man who had given so much to the game and to communities around the world. The award meant a lot to him, not for personal glory, but as recognition that cricket can be a force for good. The Kallicharran cricket legacy continues through his family. His brother Derek played high-level cricket for Guyana and later the United States, showing that cricket talent ran in the family. His nephews Mahendra and Vishal Nagamuthu also became cricketers, carrying on the family tradition. This family connection to cricket shows how the sport becomes part of the fabric of life in the Caribbean, passed down through generations. For the Kallicharran family, cricket wasn't just a sport, it was a way of life and a means of connection across generations and continents. To fully appreciate Kallicharran's career, we need to understand the time in which he played. The 1970s were an important time for West Indies cricket and Caribbean identity. Many Caribbean nations had recently gained independence from colonial powers and were finding their place in the world. Cricket became a powerful way to show this new confidence and unity. When the West Indies team beat England, their former colonial ruler in England, it meant more than just a sporting victory. It was a statement that Caribbean people could compete with and beat the best in the world. Cricket success became a source of immense pride for people across the Caribbean islands. The West Indies teams that Kallicharran was part of weren't just playing cricket, they were making statements about Caribbean excellence. His role in this cultural movement, particularly as a player of Indian descent from Guyana, highlighted the multicultural nature of West Indies cricket and society. The West Indies team brought together people from different islands, races and backgrounds, united by cricket and Caribbean identity. Kallicharran's success showed that the Caribbean was a place where people of all backgrounds could excel on the world stage. This was especially meaningful in a post-colonial context, where people were redefining what it meant to be Caribbean. Looking at statistics alone, Kallicharran's record is impressive, over 4,000 test runs with 12 centuries, and an average exceeding 44. These numbers put him among the best batsmen of his era. But numbers only tell part of the story. His impact on teammates, his influence on cricket's development in the Caribbean, and his role in some of West Indies cricket's most memorable victories go beyond statistics. Some contributions can't be measured in runs or averages, like the confidence he gave to the team when he walked to the crease, or the inspiration he provided to smaller players who thought they might be too small for international sport. Cricket is as much about character and influence as it is about statistics, and in these areas, Kallicharran was truly exceptional. Beyond cricket grounds and televised matches, Kallicharran has maintained a commitment to helping others, using his fame to improve lives and communities. His charity work shows he understands that his cricket journey gave him opportunities that many others never get met, and that such privilege comes with responsibility. He has never forgotten his humble beginnings in Port Mourant, and has worked to create opportunities for others from similar backgrounds. Through cricket coaching, charity work and community development, he has tried to give others the same chance he had to use sport as a pathway to a better life. Not many people know that Kallicharran has quietly supported several education initiatives in Guyana, helping children from backgrounds similar to his own. He has funded scholarships, contributed to school building projects, and donated cricket equipment to communities that can't afford it. He believes strongly that sport and education together can transform lives. In interviews, he often mentions that his greatest achievement isn't any cricket record, but seeing young people he's mentored succeed in life. This side of Kallicharran reveals the depth of his character and his understanding that true legacy isn't just about sporting achievements, but about the lives you touch and improve. Today at 74 years old, Alvin Kallicharran's love for cricket remains strong. His eyes still light up when talking about batting technique or remembering famous matches. He still watches cricket regularly and keeps up with developments in the game, though he sometimes worries that the art of batting is being lost in the modern era's focus on power hitting. The young boy from Port Mourant, who once copied his cricket heroes, eventually became a hero himself. Not just for his batting skill but for showing the values of dedication, adaptability, and staying calm under pressure. His journey from the dusty fields of Guyana to cricket's biggest stages remains an inspiring story of what can be achieved with talent, hard work, and courage. When cricket experts discuss the great West Indies teams of the 1970s and 1980s, names like Richards, Lloyd, Holding, and Roberts dominate the conversation. Yet Kallicharran's contribution to this golden era deserves equal recognition. His technical mastery provided the perfect balance to the raw power that defined much of West Indies cricket during this time. While others in the team intimidated opponents with pace and power, Kallicharran charmed them with skill and grace. This balance was crucial to the team's success and helped establish a Caribbean cricket style that dominated the world game for 2 decades. Without Kallicharran's steadying influence and reliable run scoring, the West Indies might not have achieved the heights they did. Perhaps the true measure of Kallicharran's impact lies not just in what he achieved, but in how he achieved it. In an era increasingly defined by intimidation and aggression, he stayed true to his classical approach. His success proved that there was still a place for artistry and technique in a game that was moving toward power and intimidation. He showed that cricket could still be played with style and grace, even at the highest level and against the toughest opposition. This message, that skill can overcome power, that art has a place alongside aggression, is perhaps his most important contribution to cricket. It's a lesson that remains relevant today as cricket continues to evolve. The legacy of Alvin Kallicharran goes beyond records and statistics. He represents a cricket philosophy that size doesn't determine ability, that elegance can be as effective as aggression, and that true mastery comes from understanding one's strengths and playing within them. In a sporting world often obsessed with physical attributes, Kallicharran's career is a reminder that heart, skill, and intelligence can overcome supposed physical limitations. His approach to the game emphasized the mental aspects of cricket: concentration, game awareness, adaptability, qualities that are sometimes overlooked in favor of more obvious physical attributes. For young cricketers today, especially those who don't have the physical size typically associated with sporting success, Kallicharran's career offers powerful inspiration. His journey shows that with enough skill, determination, and intelligence, you can overcome supposed limitations and reach the highest levels of sporting achievement. In cricket academies across the Caribbean and beyond, coaches still point to Kallicharran as an example of how technical perfection can compensate for lack of physical power. His legacy lives on in every small player who refuses to be limited by their size and instead focuses on developing perfect technique and cricket intelligence. Even in today's power-dominated cricket world, traces of Kallicharran's influence can be seen in technically skilled left-handed batsmen who value precision over power. His approach to batting focused on placement, timing, and game awareness offers valuable lessons for cricket's next generation. As the game continues to evolve, with new formats emphasizing big hitting and rapid scoring,
Kallicharran's career reminds us that there will always be a place for the batter who can find gaps, play with timing, and adapt to changing situations. True cricket excellence isn't just about hitting the ball hard, it's about hitting it smart. Alvin Kallicharran's story is one of triumph against the odds, from a humble beginning in a small Guyanese village to international cricket stardom. His journey shows the transformative power of sport to lift individuals beyond their circumstances and into the realm of legend. As we've seen today, his contributions to cricket go far beyond statistics, influencing the sport's development and inspiring countless young players. In a game rich with characters and stories, Kallicharran's tale stands out as particularly meaningful. A reminder that cricket, at its best, is about more than just winning and losing. It's about expressing yourself, overcoming challenges, and leaving the game better than you found it. By these measures, Alvin Kallicharran is truly one of cricket's greatest champions.